Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we're going bold with experts today on goingboldmedia.com. And this is the Link to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner. I am your host, Cece Shatz, and I have my good friend here with me,
Joanne Weiland, Why Land When You Can Fly, the founder of the collaborative cloud community, Link to Expert, where you can find an expert in minutes or you'll be found as an expert.
Absolutely. And we have a terrific author with us today. Do you want to do the intro, Joanne?
Yes, I was curious if any of you remember when you were 5 years old.
I don't know if I do, actually. That was so long ago.
Yeah, I know, but just think how you were. You were kind of like, I would think, very dependent on adults, to feed you, to clothe you, to bathe you. I mean, you were just really
Just a child.
dependent.
Yeah.
And can you imagine then running away from home and staying away for a whole week? Can you imagine how scary that would be? Well, our guest today, Lynda Sunshine West, has experienced that. But the good news is she's going to also share with us once she became 51 years old. It took her a little while, but that's okay. It's better late than never to break through these fears. And not only a little bit, for a whole year, she decided to break through one fear a day for 365 days. So we are so excited for her to share with us today. Do it because you're scared, instead of everybody that usually thinks, don't do that, it's too scary. So Lynda, welcome. And we are so excited to have you on the show. So thank you.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. And just this topic, doing it because you're scared is something that it's so deep within me that this seems to be the thing I talk about the most. The most is breaking through those fears, because fear does hold us back if we allow it to. I like to say fear can fuel you or it can fail you. You get to decide. You like that one, huh? That's a writer downer.
I'm always a note taker. So yes.
But we'd also like to let the audience know that she's the founder and CEO of Action Takers Publishing. She's a speaker, regular speaker herself. She's a 36 times #1 international best-selling author, award-winning author. Okay, contributing writer to numerous magazines. You were also an executive film producer of the movie with Man and a red carpet interviewer. So you've had some really prestigious positions and accomplishments in your life. And so doing this with fear is not an easy task. So we're going to talk about your new book. The book that we're going to talk about is Do It Because You're Scared. So I'm so excited to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and the emphasis is on because, like because is like the scary font there. And the reason for doing it because you're scared is that if you think about all the fears that you have, stepped through, broken through, kicked down the door of whatever analogy you want to place on it. If you think about the vast majority of those fears, how did you feel on the other side of that fear after you broke through it? What you could have enlarged the size of your comfort zone, every single time you step through fears. And the more often you step through them, you create this muscle within yourself that allows you to make it easier and easier to break through those fears. I'm going to share with you an acronym that I came up with, during that year. So I'm breaking through a fear every single day. It's 365 days in a row. And as I was breaking through that fear, I remember those fears, like it was about 3 months into it. I was brushing my teeth and that saying came up in my head: fear, false evidence appearing real. And I was like, false evidence appearing real? There's nothing false about my fear. It doesn't appear real. It is real, as real can be to me, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about that particular fear that I have. My fears are my fears. And please do not invalidate my fears, because they are valid.
Very
so I said, wait a minute. One thing I know to be true is that when I have faith, that my fear is either weak or it's erased. So what this means is that when I have fear, this means my faith is weak. or erased. So what if we can flip that around and we can say faith, because faith erases anxious reactions, fear. Faith erases anxious reactions. So if you're experiencing fear, one of the things you can do is you can ask yourself, wow, how strong is my faith right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me to tap into my faith. And that's the faith in myself that I can do this. Maybe that faith isn't strong enough in yourself because you haven't done that thing before. You haven't exercised that before. So then you tap into that next level of faith. And that's that faith in your mentors and your coaches, those people who inspire you, who motivate you, those people who know that you can succeed. You know what? I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it. Can you help me through this? Can you guide me down this path? And maybe that doesn't work for you. Then you go to that next level. And I probably have these levels backwards, but it's okay because this is what works for me. I found out what works for me. Then I go to God and I say, you know what? I don't have faith in myself. The people in my circle, like I have faith in them, but it's not enough faith for me to take that step. Can you help me? And so I go through those levels and I say, okay, I'm going to do this because now I have faith that everything is going to work itself out in the end. And so I break through those fears because my faith has now erased my anxious reactions. And then I go out there and I do it because I'm scared. So that's one of the things that I learned during that year. I learned a lot in 365 days of breaking through fears. And that's just one of the things right there. And it's been an incredible journey, absolutely incredible. And I wouldn't change anything that I did because every single day was a stepping stone to the next day. You know, sometimes I backslid but every time I backslid, I would jump ahead forward faster the next time because I had experienced that situation.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say that's a famous line for our divorce support group. It's like we do baby steps, right? And so you might take 2 or 3 steps forward and then you take 5 steps back, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all kind of baby steps. It's all learning as you do it. But this fear is one of the biggest things that holds you back. But I love the idea. Do it because you're fearful. You know, the opportunity is there for you. So step forward and do it because, and then, you know, sort out, use the tools that you suggested to try to sort in your mind to get through so that you can do that. Yeah.
Well, I just thought of something else. Do today what others won't, so tomorrow you can do what others can't.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Step through your fears. That Norman Vincent was my original mentor, and he taught me so many things. But he would say, "Do it today, while others won't. So tomorrow you can do it because others can't." Because it's also, I think, such an example, like how you want to, and are empowering 500 women and men. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's also because you have to empower yourself first. You have to be the example. So even though we say they can't now, but maybe they'll do it then once they saw that you did it. You know what I mean? Like you're the example. You're proof that it can work. Because a lot of times, like me with Cece, I mean, when she asked me to be the co-host, I'm like, I don't know. But then I looked at her. She started too 12 years ago. I mean, 12 years ago, but still, you know, and she didn't know what she was doing either. So I'm grateful to be her co-host on the show because my goal and my mission all my life has been to allow people to find different experts to help them to evolve and to grow and to empower them. So Lynda, when you want to empower and are empowering the 5 million people, and it's just incredible because it really does take us taking the first step and showing them that we can do this is, you know, no matter what. And we can keep fine tuning it to even make it better and better. And usually it's going to be so rewarding, if not always. And it's so exciting. I loved when you shared too about the excitement of it. It is exciting to feel like, wow, I just did that, you know?
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Right.
awesome. I'm cool. You know, It's interesting. During the journey, I met some absolutely incredible people who helped me to move forward. I met somebody who became my mentor, back in 2015. That's when I was breaking through those fears every day. I was 51 years old and I was embarking on this new journey to the unknown. I had never, I broke through fears previously, but never with intent or never realizing that I was breaking through a fear, because it wasn't like, oh, this is the fear, and recognizing that. But I ended up meeting these people, and it's really been incredible, like which doors have opened because of that. And so I remember I was attending this one event and I thought, I'm going to ask, everybody I meet, do you have any fears? Because I wanted to find out, what are other people's fears? And so, I was asking, I've been surrounded by these multimillionaires and billionaires, these people who are extremely successful in their own businesses, experts in their field, big time. And so I would walk up to them and I'd say, do you have any fears? First of all, I was scared to ask them, but I did it because I was scared. And some of the responses that came back were kind of interesting to me, because I recognized that, wow, we have different fears. Those are fears that I would never think of. For example, one of them, this gentleman, he has an IQ of 193, like one of the highest IQs out there. And I asked him, do you have any fears? And he said, yes, I have the fear of boredom. See, his fears are different than mine because his intellect is so big, so much bigger than mine, would ever be. And so his fear of boredom, because he doesn't want his mind to stop, right? So that fear of boredom. And so I looked at him and I said, now I've known him for a couple of years. And I said, oh, I get it. You're bored with me right now, right? And he goes, yeah, kind of. And so I was like, okay, I'll just leave. So I just turned around and walked away. So I asked this other gentleman who's a bariatric surgeon. He's he's done, I don't even know how many surgeries he's done, but he's one of the experts in the field. And I asked him, do you have any fears? And he said, yes, I have a tremendous fear of insignificance. See, this is a real fear to him. That was a real fear. The fear of boredom was a real fear to these people. And so while my fears may seem insignificant in comparison to their fears in my mind or in somebody else's mind, the reality is my fears are my fears and they are real. They're absolutely real. And so it's like allowing ourselves to say, you know what, this is a fear I have. Let me engulf it and say, I want to do something about it or not. We get to decide, and we get to decide what we're going to do about it. I'll share with you quickly this acronym that I came up with for the word decide, DECIDE. You're faced with an experience. You're faced with an opportunity. You're faced with something that you're encountering. Let's use Joanne's example of becoming a co-host for this show. She was faced with that. Now, what did she have? She had to make a decision. And a decision is an incision of something. So every time we decide to do something, we're making like a cut in that. And we're saying, I'm going forward. Or the decision might be to stay, means I'm going to stay over here. So you're making an incision. So with that decision comes decide. The first thing is the D. The D is to determine what you want to do. I have a decision to make right now. I need to determine what I want to do. And the next thing is to E, educate yourself. Educate yourself on what you need to do in order to effect that change. So what is that decision that you're about to make? Make sure you educate yourself so you can make an educated decision. The next is to C, to collaborate. Going to collaborate with others who can help you succeed. Is it something you want to do that you've never done before? And you have somebody you admire that they're doing it. So in this example with Joanne, she has Cece. Cece's been doing this for 12 years. And so part of her decision is like, well, Cece, I'm not really sure, like, am I going to be good enough? Is it going to be easy? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to step up to the plate? I'm going to knock it out of the park. What am I going to do? So she's going to collaborate with Cece. The next one is the I. The I is to imagine. I want you to imagine yourself achieving that success that you desire. What is that success for you? What does that mean? So you showing up every single week to do these shows, what does that mean? What's the success that you want out of that? What's that success you desire? Imagine that you're in that place. Maybe you guys want to be an award-winning show. Imagine that, having those awards up here, right? And so then the next D is to devote. Devote yourself to that. You're making a decision to do something and devote yourself to it wholeheartedly. Like I have within me this devotion to succeed in this decision that I'm making right now. And then the last E is to empower. Empower yourself with the tools that you need in order to succeed. So now we've gone through this whole process to make a decision that we're empowered with. I have the tools that I need. I have the people in place that I need. I have the education that I need in order to succeed. But you got to make that decision. Fear, is it stopping you from making a decision? Fear shows up often. It shows up often for us. We're human beings. We're trying to protect ourselves. Our brain is trying to protect us. Stop protecting me. I got stuff to do on this planet and you're stopping me. So I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to decide to transform my life right then in that moment and go do it because you're scared.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. Absolutely great advice. Probably a great place to be able to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit further about, our fear, stepping up, getting into it, that type of thing. So I want to make sure that everyone, you can buy the book at actiontakerspublishing.com. Do it. So it's Action, ACTION, Takers, TAKERS, Publishing, PUBLISHING.com and /do it. So you want to make sure that you really take advantage of this and really grab a hold of this show, because anything that's stopping you from doing something that you truly want to do, that you're destined to do, and so many times we are destined to do certain things and we don't do them, which creates a whole nother chain reaction of something else for us. And so we want to make sure that you do that. Again, we do have a free gift for you. The Year of Fears. It's theyearofears.com. And so make sure that you go and get the free gift. We hope that you'll do that. And again, on our show notes, all of the information is there. You guys can get it pretty easily. Just click on it that way and be able to get it. So you guys are listening to LinktoEXPERT Goodreads Author's Corner. I'm Cece Shatz. I have my good friend Joanne Weiland here with me, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Thomas. I want to share with you a professional products and services directory we call Going Solo Directory. And you need to check this out. If you want exposure to your business or are seeking professional product or services, this directory has it all. And that membership, for the many special features, you get the benefit of a worldwide exposure with a 40-minute video interview on an international business show showcase. All this for just one low annual fee. For more information, contact GoingSoloDirectory.com.
Welcome back to LinktoEXPERT Goodreads Author's Corner. I am Cece Shatz. I have my good friend here with me, Joanne Weiland. We are talking with one of our terrific authors here today. You guys are listening to GoingBoldMedia.com. Please check that out, and we'd love to share all of our wonderful hosts and guests that we have. And then also we want to thank WGSN-DB Going Solo Network for having our show here. So let's talk a little bit more with Lynda Sunshine West. She's has a great book out. It's Do It Because You're Scared. First part of the show, if you missed it, you got to go back and catch it, because it's so worth listening to. And you may want to after you even hear this whole show, you may want to listen to it again and again to maybe instill some of these things for you. But she talked about decide, right? And she gave us, a whole thing about that. Not decide. It was
Yes,
what was
she
it?
did.
It was, yeah. So it was, the first one was decide, education, collaboration, imagine, devote, and empower. So yeah, whatever that's okay, I'm a bomb. So but yeah, so you definitely want to check that out. I want to show you her book so that way you guys can see what it looks like when you run and get it, because that's what it looks like. Do it because you're scared. And this is a terrific book. So thank you so much, Lynda, for being with us here today. So let's talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, this book, first of all, the subtitle there, this is what says a lot for me, is you're opening doors to conquer fear and embrace unforeseen opportunities. Because if you think about fear, that what's on the other side of fear, we don't know. We don't know what's on that other side. What kind of opportunities are we potentially missing out on? They're unforeseen to us. When we allow fear to stop us. And the reason I have these 3 doors here is just like that game show, Let's Make a Deal back in the day, like which door are you going to go through? Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? Well, door number 1 on the left-hand side, that's fear. And let's just imagine the word fear is over that door. And we're staring at that fear like, okay, that fear is there. And I'm not going to do it because I'm scared. I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And so we just turn around and walk away. But what opportunities are on that other side of that door? You don't even know. So the next door there is that you are peeking inside and you're like, I wonder what's on the other side of that. And that's when you get to decide, again, using that word decide, is you get to decide, and I'm going to go through and go ahead and walk through that door, walk through that fear so that I can see what's on the other side and then do something about it. Or am I going to decide to close that door and turn around and walk away and keep living the life that I'm living today? The next one is that this is you actually walking through and you're saying that, you know what, I'm not going to let the fear stop me. Instead, I like to say you can let fear fuel you or you can let it fail you. And so in this instance, you're letting it fuel you to that other side, to those unseen opportunities. I don't know what's on the other side there, but I can tell you what, after breaking through one fear a day for an entire year at age 51. So it's not like I was a young person, I was on the other side of the 50s and, breaking through a fear every single day for a year, that the vast majority of opportunities that showed themselves to me were just astronomical. Every single thing I'm doing today is based on that year. Every single thing, with the exception of my husband. I've been with him for 35 years. But other than that, everything is based on that year of breaking through those fears. So don't let fear stop you. And you are not too old.
Yeah, I love that. What I like about it is like when you look at the picture, right? When you look at the picture of her walking through, you see her hair starting to blow, the self-confidence, her shoulders are not slouched. She's upright. She's going through. She's just going to embrace it. And she's empowered as she walks through that door.
Yeah.
And then says, not going to let fear get in the way. No way. I love that. Absolutely. We could do that every day, right? That's what we need to do, Joanne. What do you say?
Well, I think so. And I think I was just curious, is this actually why you started the publishing company, so you can actually share other people's stories as well as yours?
Well, it actually happened on accident, becoming a book publisher. I was never interested in reading and I was never interested in writing when I was younger. Not either of those. I had this friend, Kathy, that she would walk around with those Harlequin romances in her face all the time, right? And she had this vast vocabulary. I mean, I'm like a simple person, I don't have a lot of expanded words and things that you have to look up in the dictionary all the time. That's not, I'm a simple folk, and so I was just not interested in reading or writing at all. And a lot of it was because of my fear of judgment, the fear of writing because of that fear of judgment. What would I say that was stupid and, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But what happened was after I started breaking through those fears every day, I ended up meeting somebody who would become my mentor. His name is Greg Reed. And with Greg, he was putting together a book, and the book is called Footsteps of the Fearless. And so he said, hey, you're breaking through a fear every day. This is the perfect book for you to join, to get into, to share your story. And so I went ahead and I decided to embark on that journey and to become an author, co-author of this book. It's a collaboration book where everybody writes a short story and then it compiles together. And I was like, that was pretty awesome, doing something like I am a published author, and then after that year of breaking through those fears, Greg, my mentor, he says, you need to write a book about your year of fears. And that's why I wrote the book, The Year of Fears. So this is my solo book. It's 7 most important lessons I learned that will save you time and money. Come on now, as Les Brown says. This is endorsed by Les Brown. And breaking through those fears was that step that led me to writing my own book. And then after I wrote my own book and I published that one, I'm now like a published author still. I'm still like, you'll never not be a published author. And so I asked myself a question that I've become very accustomed to asking. And this has been, a tribute to a lot of my growth that I've had this last several years. And that is like, what's my next natural state of progression? I was in a collaboration book. I wrote my own book. And I said, you know what? I'm going to follow in my mentor's footsteps. I'm going to start putting together my own collaboration books. And that was how that all started. I was just doing it for fun. It was not a publishing company. And I decided to reach out to some of the people that I'd met on this journey. And that was like the founder of UGG Boots, the creator of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the inventor of the credit card magnetic strip, and my mentor, Greg Reed. And I said, I'm thinking of writing a book called Momentum. Will you join me? And every single one of them said, yes, of course, Lynda, just tell me what I need to do. And so here we go. Momentum, 13 lessons from action takers who changed the world. This book was born because I asked those gentlemen if they would be in the book. And after that, again, I'm not a publishing company at this point, but I published a collaboration book. It was a lot of fun. And I said, oh, that was so much fun. I'm going to do it again. So I did it again with 2 more books. Fearless Entrepreneurs and Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. Now, those 2 books, I put together 19 and 20 experts in both of those books. And putting that together took me a long time. It was almost 2 years to put both books together, have the authors in it, get their stories written, and all this things that need to happen. But I published them by myself. I'm still by myself doing this for fun. And I published them 8 days apart. And they both hit #1 international bestseller status in under 5 hours. That was when I looked at it. And this was August of 2021. I looked at that and I said, damn, I know what I'm doing and I'm having fun. This is awesome. This is what I'm going to do. And that was the day I decided that I am a book publisher. Now, I had been an entrepreneur for 6 years leading up to that, trying to find my way. Like, what am I? Who do I serve? What do I do? I was having a hard time figuring that out. And once I decided that day, again, I make it a decision, which meant I was making an incision. My incision was cutting all of my clients. Like, I had clients in different things that I was dabbling in. And I literally called all of them. And I said, this Monday is our last session. I will refund you any money I owe you because I am now a book publisher, like that. And that was the start of it. And I got to share with you, like, everything started showing itself, unfolding right in front of my very eyes. Like, it's as if it was waiting for me to decide to do that. I published, so I now have a team of people. We have 7 people on my team. I'm no longer alone, but I published 25 #1 international best-selling books in 22 months because I made that decision to do something and I took the action that made it happen. So the success that we have today is just because, like, I've done it because I'm scared all along, and it's been amazing.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. I know that you have 36 times, like we were saying before, you had 36 times the #1 international best-selling and award-winning author. That, I mean,
That's
that's a lot.
fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
absolutely a lot. Yeah, tremendously. And they're just really great books. I mean, these books that you're mentioning are just, just this book today that we're talking about, the one, Do It Because You're Scared. I mean, that is, a tremendous, I mean, it's overwhelming how many things you're afraid of, that you let things stop
They're
you,
big change. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, just imagining like what would happen if I actually broke through that fear, whatever that fear was. Like, what is the good things that could happen? Like, instead of, like, I don't know about you all, but before I had my tools that I use, for breaking through fears, I would always imagine all the bad things that would happen. I never imagined the good stuff that could happen. And so what if you just completely got rid of that idea of what bad could happen, and you look at what good could happen, or you just completely have an open mind of what is possible. I don't know what's going to happen over there. When I interviewed the president of Mexico, the country, Mexico, Vicente Fox, in his presidential suite, this happened because I took an action. This happened because I didn't allow fear to stop me. And so all these different things that I've done, throughout the years, starting at age 51, the things that I have done have been like blown myself away. Like, I blow my own mind. Like, I walked out of that interview. I'm interviewing him in his presidential suite. And I walked out of there and I said, was my Barbara Walters moment. Like, I had a Barbara Walters. I interviewed a president of a country, like that. Who does that happen to? That happens to people who take action, y'all. That's how it happens to.
Well, that's why I always love the name of your company, Action Takers, because nothing happens until you take action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my one of my sayings is nothing happens without action, because we can hope, dream, pray, desire, manifest everything we want in life, but if it's staring us in the face and we don't take action, nothing is going to happen. So stop dreaming, stop praying, stop hoping, start doing. Go out there and take action. Live your life.
Totally
there we go.
You've got, what do you
wish it,
dream it, do it. I love that. I love that. That is great. That is so great. I'll just share a quick story. I mean, I'm scared of heights. Okay. And so I had an opportunity to go into a hot air balloon one time with my ex-husband. And I almost didn't do it because of my fear of heights. And then, the guy said, well, I've done this a million times, people survived or whatever. And I said, okay, well, as long as you make a promise that I will survive. So he said, absolutely, and so I got in, and it was one of the best experiences I probably will remember for my whole life. Absolutely. So then we went to like Victoria Falls, and it's like such a drop and everything like that. And I realized, well, if I just step back and don't go to the edge, I won't fall over, so I mean, I just kept that type of thing. So it's like, it's how you look at things, it truly is how you look at things, and you do them, like you said, because you're scared. You do it like, okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to get to the other side of it and see what's there. And so, yeah, I love your book. I think it's great. Do it because you're scared. So wonderful.
Yeah. And I want to share why the word because is an empowerment. Like, we step into an empowerment, like I'm going to own this. Like, I have fear right now. I'm going to do this because I'm scared. I'm feeling myself with empowerment. And this makes it a lot easier for us to go through, some of those acronyms, false evidence appearing real, feel the fear and do it anyway. Some of the things people say, and those things to me are very disempowering, because I want to have control over my fear. I don't want fear to control me anymore. And so really, just stepping into that, this is fear. This is what I'm experiencing. And I'm going to break through this fear right now because I'm scared, because I don't know what's on the other side. And what if it's something absolutely amazing? Why are you depriving yourself of that amazing thing that can happen because you break through that fear? You're literally depriving yourself of something that's unknown.
Right.
Yeah. So do it because you're scared.
That's
Right.
wonderful. Totally wonderful. Well, we're going to have to probably close the show here pretty soon, but I want to make sure that we get the information out to everyone. If you want to contact Lynda, just contact her at Lynda, Lynda, at actiontakerspublishing.com. And then again, it's actiontakerspublishing.com is her website. So go check that out. Definitely you want to, if you're thinking about writing a book, why not go with someone that totally gets it and understands and will help you get through it. So again, she's offering us a free gift link, and you just go to theyearoffears.com. That's theyearoffears.com, and you can get your free gift there. I want to thank you so much. Are there any last words you have, Joanne?
Well, I wanted to ask Lynda, are you looking for more authors to publish their stories to get to the 5 million women and men to empower them?
Yeah. So our mission statement is to empower 5 million women and men to share their stories with the world to create a greater impact on the planet. I'll just share with you quickly how that came about. I know we're almost out of time here, but somebody said you need to have a number, a SMART goal, right? SMART, and that's that measurable goal. And so I love the number 5, and so I said, okay, we're going to empower 50,000 people. That was my goal originally, and I said, oh wait. Grant Cardone, he always talks about you got to 10x everything. So I 10x'd it to 5 million. And then I took a step back and said, wait a minute, that's 100. That's 100x. But I went ahead and kept the 5 million because, why would I pull myself back into a smaller number? And so 5 million is our number that our mission is to empower. So far, we have published 433 #1 international best-selling authors, and we're just getting started, as you can tell. But you got to take that first step. And so we're on our journey to do this. And what I had this epiphany of is that number 5 million. That's a legacy number. That's a number that I came up with. It's not about what I'm doing while I'm here. It's about getting what I'm starting doing while I'm here, and then to leave it for when I'm gone. So, Action Takers Publishing will be around long after I'm gone. Are we looking for authors? Yes, we do collaboration books, as I shared a little bit earlier. And then we also publish solo author books. And so we're always looking for people who want to get their story out there, get their message out there. Maybe you have a little bit of fear around it. I totally get it. I understand fear. And we are going to help you to break through those fears. Many of our authors are scared to hit that submit button. But once we get on a call with them, we help them to allay that fear, to realize the value and the importance of their story. There's somebody out there who needs to hear your message right now, and you're depriving them of that opportunity to learn from you, to grow from you. So really getting your story out there. This is all about that empowerment, is empower you to share your story with the world so that you can create a greater impact on the planet.
It's so true.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful.
We appreciate, you being like the leader of it, because of the fact that somebody has to lead. And I'm so grateful to hear that you have the team, because this is what it's all about too. You can't always be an expert. You can't always know an expert, but you can always hire one. So when you work with Lynda, you do get the team that will help you with this project. So you will be accountable, finish it, get it out to the world, because a lot of times when we don't do that and we try to do it alone, we procrastinate. So Lynda, I'm so grateful that you have a process that works, a team that is there to support them, because I really do believe everybody does have a story inside of them that can make a great impact on the world and empower others. So thank you for doing what you do and not being, doing it in spite of your fears. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I want to say one last thing on this.
Yes, please.
Something for the listeners to think about. If you're experiencing procrastination, by the way, I actually used to have Procrastinators Anonymous because I was a tremendous procrastinator. Procrastination most of the time is due to fear. So if you're procrastinating, I want you to think about, what am I scared of right now? Why am I not doing this?
Good point.
Yeah, very good point. Well, we do have 5.1 million listeners on our Roku station. So Roku listeners, all you have to do is write a book and she'll make her quota.
Yes, exactly.
So definitely contact her. Again, it's Lynda, Lynda at Action, ACTION, Takers, TAKERS, Publishing, PUBLISHING.com. So just reach out to her. Let her know you want to write a book. She's going to help you, walk you through it. And so this way you can face your fears and do it. What are we saying? Do it because you're scared. Just do it. So yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. And, you're just a wonderful individual. And we just want to thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
It's so nice. Well, you guys are listening to Link to Expert Goodreads Author's Corner. I am Cece Shatz. I have my good friend here, Joanne. I want to let everyone know what Joanne does because I think that it's very important. But she is, let me put it up here for you. She's the Chief Connections Officer and the founder of the collaboration cloud community, LinktoEXPERT.com. So we are here because of her today, really embracing experts in their field, such as Lynn, and it's just Lynda. It's so nice to be able to have everyone here. So we're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network and our goingboldmedia.com. So I hope that you guys will check out our website and enjoy all of the wonderful hosts that we have and the guests that we have on there. Check out our show notes. It's got all the links for you. So you just check it out and you can go straight to that free gift. Go and contact Lynda that way. And we hope that it'll make it a little bit easier for you. So we will catch you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us.